Do you want to know how to make a woman choose you? Even when she's surrounded by other men, when her options seem endless, and you seem like just another one of the bunch? Well, listen carefully, because I am not going to repeat it. The modern woman, like a fortified city, does not fall with flowers or supplications. They fall with strategy, with intelligence, with an invisible seduction that works in silence, like the poison that is not felt until it is too late. You're not here to be the best candidate. You're here to become the only option that makes sense for her. And to achieve that, you're going to have to stop thinking like an ordinary man and start thinking like a prince, like a strategist, like a cold seducer who understands that love is not earned, it is manipulated, it is created, it is directed, like a river that one guides with his hands while the other believes that it flows by itself. Look around. Most men are sentimental stupid. They beg for attention. They exhibit their desperation as if it were attractive. And the worst, they believe that love is about deserve. No, love, like power, is not deserved. It is taken. You win with cunning, with emotional control, with psychological intelligence. A woman chooses you when she feels that, with you, she loses control. But not because you take it away from them, but because you become the only thing he can't understand, in the only thing that he cannot fully possess. And that's where your advantage begins. The first thing you need to know is this: you don't compete with other men. You compete with the fantasy that she has in her head, with the idea that he has built about the kind of man he wants. Your task is not to defeat others. It's infiltrating that idea and then destroying it from within to replace it with your presence. How do you do that? Observed, a woman pays more attention to what you insinuate than to what you show. That is why mystery is more powerful than sincerity. Don't tell him everything, don't show yourself completely. If you do, it makes you predictable. And if you're predictable, she's already beaten you. He's already mastered you. He has already lost interest. Instead, play with your mind. It provokes curiosity. Give him real crumbs and then walk away. Let him stay thinking that he is left feeling that something does not fit. The man who knows how to retire at the right time generates obsession. Anyone who stays too long generates rejection. Remember this, because it will be a constant. Don't give it certainty. Give it tension. Tension is the space that she fills with desire. Now listen to me carefully, because here comes the first tactic. Create the illusion that you have access to many women, but you choose to be close to her, without need, without urgency, without effort. Don't say it. Make him perceive it. How? With your behavior, with your body language, with your rhythm. He speaks slowly, like you have all the time in the world, like you're the prize and she's just starting to apply. Don't rush to look for it. Make him look for you. Make her doubt if you really love her, or if you're just entertained, because in that doubt, their interest is activated. A woman who doesn't know where she is with you is a woman trapped in her own mind trying to figure it out. And that mental effort creates attachment. The more he thinks about you, the more you invest in his subconscious, without giving anything in return. Do you understand the power I am giving you? That is not simple seduction, it's mind control. Now, let's move on to the next play. When you interact with it, never be the one looking for validation, not even with a glance. That she always has the feeling that you see something beyond what she shows, that you are not impressed by its beauty, that you are evaluating it subtly, as if she is not up to something that you know and she ignores. Women are used to being adored. Descolócalas, give them the opposite. Make them wonder why you don't melt like everyone else. And when I start to ask him, it is already in the game. The most effective thing you can do with a woman who has options, it's letting her choices confuse her while you become certainty. But beware, a cold certainty. Take it easy, almost indifferent. You don't need jealousy, you don't need confrontation. If he talks about other men, he listens with a half smile, as if he were talking about children trying to impress the king. You are not on the same level, and if she starts to notice it, if he starts to feel like he has to work harder with you than with others, then he begins to choose you without knowing that he does. Don't make it obvious. Don't be eager to stand out. Make it inevitable. Look, there's one thing every woman desires more than love: selective validation. When you who seem unreachable choose to see her, when you who don't go out of your way for anyone make her feel special for a few seconds, she becomes addicted to that moment, because it is not just any emotion. It is the glory felt by those who have conquered something that no one else has been able to. Give him that glory, but only for seconds, and then remove it. Do it coldly. Don't explain. Don't apologize. Let the intensity go up and cut off suddenly. That creates anxiety, and anxiety creates emotional connection. Even if you don't understand why, you're getting into her nervous system without touching her, without saying anything directly to her. And that, dear listener, is real power. Power that is not seen but felt. And I repeat something that you should already record as an order. Do not compete. Whoever competes for a woman has already lost. The one who observes, plans, and executes as if he were a chess player. That's the one that ends with the queen. So far, we've only opened the board. The best is yet to come. She doesn't need you to tell her how you feel. You need to feel what you don't even understand yourself. That's what makes her addicted. Not your words, not your promises, but the contradiction that you project effortlessly. The mystery that emerges when you seem interested and distant at the same time. I warned you, it's not about being the best man she knows. It is about being the most enigmatic, the one who cannot classify, the one who breaks his logic without breaking his desire. To achieve that, you have to master a very subtle art, emotional ambiguity. Do you know why men despair and are discarded? Because they show their need too soon. Because they turn women into judges, prizes, goals. And when she feels that power, she loses everything. Because he no longer has to conquer. Because he already won without playing. And everything that is obtained without effort dies without value. On the other hand, you must offer something that she cannot label. An interest that does not become dependence. A care that does not guarantee stability. A connection that cannot be defined. That's how you turn your presence into an enigma. And no human being can resist solving a riddle, especially a woman who has been the center of male desire all her life. Give it something new, uncertainty. Now, listen to this tactic, because it is not found in any modern seduction book. This comes from the politics of the soul. When you are with her, do not seek to please. Don't look to be liked. Don't look for connection. Seek silent emotional domination. And how is that achieved? Making her feel that with you she has to rise. You are not in their world. You don't live where most people live. Your behavior, your silences, your body language, everything must convey one thing. With you, you are in the presence of a different energy. The secret is not to speak louder. It's about talking less. But let every word count, that each look lasts half a second longer than what is socially accepted. Make every pause you make before answering seem deliberate. Women feel this, they don't reason it, but they feel it. And when a woman starts to feel like you perceive the world more deeply than others, she can't help but be attracted. Even if you don't understand why. That's called presence. And presence is not built with words, it is built with internal control. Therefore, the first battlefield is not her, it's you. You against your impulses, you against your anxiety, you against your need for validation. Master yourself, and you'll master the interaction without lifting a finger. Now let's move on to something more advanced. When she tells you about other men or her love life, listen calmly. No judgment, without showing interest. But neither is total indifference. What you are looking for is to create ambivalence, an ambivalence that confuses her, that makes her wonder, why doesn't she flinch? Why doesn't he react like everyone else? And right there, you're showing him that you're not in competition. Because a prince does not compete with servants. You're not looking to be just another one. You're building another category. And the woman, sooner or later, will feel it. It can resist at first. It can test you. It can even provoke you to break your center. But if you stay cool, balanced, unpredictable, will have no choice but to choose you. Because women do not choose the one they want. He chooses the one he cannot control. Let's go even further. Never talk about what you're going to do. Do it. Never explain your intentions. Let her interpret them. Never tell him how he should feel. It makes me feel it. This level of influence is not achieved by imitating other men, nor by using ready-made phrases. It is achieved by creating contrast. And here comes the most elegant tactic of all. Be warm, but only when you decide. Surprise her with a kind gesture when she doesn't expect it. Then go back to your usual coldness. That oscillation, that emotional swing, creates a devastating effect. His mind will try to stabilize you, his heart will start to reverse, and you will be winning without giving anything of yourself. She'll chase you not because of what you give her, but because of what you take away. The most powerful energy is not the one that is delivered, it is the one that is withdrawn at the exact moment. And here's the truth that no one wants to tell you. Love isn't fair. It is not equitable. It is not logical. Love responds to primitive patterns, to invisible pulses, and the man who understands this, that he understands that he must be a symbol, not a supplication, that it should be a challenge, not a refuge, that man will be the chosen one, even if there are others who are more handsome, richer, more available. Because you were not chosen for what you offered, you were chosen for what you awakened in her. And no one can imitate that. While you watch her, she is also measuring you. But it doesn't measure you logically. It measures you with sensations. with what you make him feel when you are around and with what he wonders when you are not. And if you know how to mold those sensations, she will have no escape. Now listen to this carefully, because you won't learn it in self-help books. A woman doesn't fall in love with you alone. He falls in love with how she feels when you're in the room. That means the game isn't won by proving your worth, but provoking emotions within her that others do not know how to activate. Therefore, do not seek to appear valuable. Make her feel different when she's with you. Make the conversation change energy. Make your presence alter the air. Let the emotional rhythm change. And how do you do that? With emotional control, with timing, and with impeccable nonverbal language. When others react, you remain calm. When others laugh to please, you smile with mastery as if you understand something that others do not understand. When others talk a lot, you talk little. But when you do, you touch fibers that no one else touches. That emotional contrast stays on a woman's skin long after you're gone. You don't want to like him. You seek to be unforgettable. And the best way to become unforgettable is to generate controlled emotional emptiness. You don't understand? Look, when she starts to feel comfortable with you, when she starts to open up, when she already thinks she has you, disappears. Do it without explanation, without excuses, without warnings. Not as punishment, as a strategy. Because in a vacuum, desire grows. A well-executed silence does not drive away. Intrigue, increase value. It destabilizes perception. And when you come back, don't ask for forgiveness. Don't explain anything. Just come back as if nothing happened, as if you were the axis, and everything else will revolve around. That creates something devastating. Selective emotional vulnerability. She begins to feel that there is no firm ground with you, that she must take care of herself, that she must win you, that she must work to be well with you. And that feeling, that insecurity, it's exactly what emotionally links her to you. It's not about being cruel, it's about creating a scenario in which she invests. Because what we love the most, it is what we have invested the most in. And that ordinary men do not understand. They want to be good, they want to be transparent, they want to be liked, and they fall to the bottom of oblivion. Not you. You're going to master a principle that most people are afraid to use: social perception. And here comes another Machiavellian tactic: being desired by others to activate desire in her. Female attention does not work in a vacuum. It needs external validation. It needs signs. And one of the most powerful signals is to see yourself surrounded by other women. It doesn't matter if they are friends, acquaintances, colleagues. What matters is what it seems. If she perceives you as a socially desired man, her brain activates an old evolutionary bias. If others want it, it must be for a reason. That logic is primitive, instinctive, and you can use it without saying a word. When you go out with her, make sure you show yourself busy, that you receive messages, that you have life beyond her, that you are not easily accessible, that she is not sure how much you think about her, that he has doubts. Doubts generate curiosity, and curiosity desire. Now listen to me, because here comes one of the quietest weapons you can use: rumor. Don't spread anything directly. Let others speak for you. Let someone say that you are difficult to read, that not just anyone interests you, that you are a man who does not get caught easily, that fame precedes you. And when you arrive, she will no longer see you as a stranger. Will see you as a challenge. Mystery is not built with secrets. It is built with mental images that others create about you, and you do not correct. Because what is not denied, it becomes a myth. And you want to become a myth, not an explanation. Don't clarify your intentions. Don't lower your value with unnecessary explanations. A woman connects more with what she imagines of you than with what you really are. So feed it ambiguity. Give her space to project on you what she wants. Don't tell him who you are. Let her decide, and then fulfills only half of that fantasy. That keeps the hook firm. Because desire is maintained when there are parts to be discovered. The mistake of many is to give themselves completely, to tell oneself as an open book. And you will not be a book, you will be a labyrinth. A labyrinth in which she gets lost, voluntarily. Human beings, by nature, do not respond to constant love. It responds to uncertain love, and a woman does not get attached to the man who always makes her happy. She clings to the one who makes her doubt, then laugh, then fear, and then smile again. That's the key. Emotional contrast. And if you master that oscillation, that pendulum that swings from coldness to warmth, from closeness to silence, then you will never need to beg. She will be emotionally hooked on you without understanding why. This is not a game of appearances, it's pure neurochemistry, because what is constantly reinforced loses intensity, but what appears and disappears, what he gives and then withdraws, that creates addiction. The same thing that casinos, apps, social networks use. It is what you are going to apply in your emotional presence. Now listen to this formula: small, unexpected gestures. Plus, prolonged silence. Plus, reappearing as if nothing had happened. Bazıya lasting emotional impact. You become something that cannot be planned or predicted, and therefore it cannot be ignored. The great mistake of men is to believe that in order to conquer, they must be present all the time. No, to be there all the time is to become invisible. On the other hand, when you retire at the exact moment when she begins to feel comfortable, that cut generates emptiness, expectation, anxiety, and finally obsession. And when you respawn, you don't need to do anything extraordinary. Just by being there, by appearing again, you already generate relief. That relief is associated with pleasure. And pleasure to you, see what you're doing? You are conditioning their mind. You are no longer a rational choice. You are a source of sensation. And desire always leans towards what it feels, not towards what is thought. Now let me take you to another level. Body language. Yes, we've already touched on it, but now we'll take it beyond posture or gaze. I'm talking about the internal rhythm that you project. Walk slower than others. He turns his head as if everything has a meaning. Look people in the eye only when it suits you. Don't hold your attention too much, just enough to make them wonder, why did he look at me like that? Women are not logical. They are sensory. And gestures leave more of a mark than speeches. Speak little, and when you speak, don't explain, evokes. Instead of saying, I like you, say something like, there's something about you that I don't quite understand. And I like that. With that, you activate the mystery and give prominence to it, without losing control. Remember, you don't impose. You induce. You don't push. Attract. And most importantly, you are not always available. The man who is always ready, always close, always attentive. It is the one that ends up being discarded. Because it's not about being. It's about me missing you. And you can't be surprised if you don't disappear. Now the art of retiring is not for cowards. There is an exact moment. Neither before nor after. The mistake is to leave too soon and seem insecure. Or stay too long and become predictable. And how do you know when it's time? Simple. You leave just as she starts to let her guard down. When you feel that the conversation is going well, that he laughs, that he looks for you with his eyes. There. At that moment you end the meeting. You take a distance. And you don't do it arrogantly. You do it with elegance. It has been a pleasure, but I have things to attend to. That phrase, said with serenity, is an emotional bomb. Because it breaks their expectations. She expected more. I was hoping you would continue, that you stayed, and now he is left hungry. And there's nothing more obsessive than an unfinished emotional appetite. That is the secret of the great strategists of desire, to leave her hungry, not of body, attention. Take one more look, give one more word, and if you do it right, she's going to get you. He's going to justify you. You will imagine. He's going to dream about you. And you have done nothing but disappear at just the right moment. That, my dear disciple, it is Machiavellian seduction. Remember this, because very few understand it. Women do not choose the best, the most correct, or the most romantic. He chooses the one who generates an emotional history that he cannot control. To those who cause tension, desire, doubt, and fascination. And that story, it's not about pretty words, it's about how you handle your presence, your silence, your rhythm, your strategic coldness. It's about how you make her doubt, and then desire. How you make her feel like she's losing you, even when he doesn't have you yet. Of how, without asking for anything, she begins to give you what she used to guard with zeal. Not because you forced it, but because you knew how to wait. You knew how to observe, you knew how to attack intelligently, and then you knew how to disappear at the exact moment. That's not luck. That's art, it's strategy, it's power, and it's the difference between being one more, or to be the one she remembers when she turns off the light. Now tell me, are you going to continue to act like an ordinary man, or are you going to become the strategist who knows exactly how to get elected, even when there are better options in the eyes of others? You decide, but if you've made it this far, you already know more than most will ever understand. You have entered into a higher form of seduction, a cold, silent seduction, lethal, and if you want to continue perfecting that art, then do what clever strategists do. Surround yourself with knowledge. Surround yourself with other men who are also preparing. Share this with anyone who dares to play in this league. Subscribe because this channel is not for everyone. It is for those who do not want to beg, for those who were not born to beg for love, but to provoke it. And if you ever feel like what you learned here gave you an advantage, let us know in the comments. Thus more men will awaken, and she will choose you. but not because you want it to, but because he will no longer be able to avoid it. And that, my dear disciple, it is the real power. The power to be remembered. The power of being impossible to replace. The power of Machiavelli on your skin.